Welcome back to the best pro for you trading floor. We are diving straight into Bitcoin today. We saw quite of a good rally on Tuesday, driven by two catalysts. Institutional demand is soaring, with Morgan Stanley getting regulatory approval for a spot Bitcoin ETF, adding to how much was it? Around 95,000 BTC, absorbed by ETFs and MicroStrategy last month. And second, the US-Iran ceasefire talks, which begin tomorrow in Pakistan. And the other news that is actually coming out, and there's been rumors probably as well this week, is that Iran is reportedly demanding Bitcoin payments to let cargoes through the Strait of Hormuz. The headlines are kind of leaning to the upside, but we trade the charts. So let's get right into the technicals. Looking at the daily chart, Bitcoin has been trapped, to be honest, in a big consolidation from under the 60k to up to around the 76k. That is the current ceiling. And then taking into consideration the Bollinger Bands, of course, we look at 74k, we look at 65k, and the middle band, which is around 69 or so. Importantly, we have this resistance level taken into account in the future. Of course, the 80k is quite off a level taken into consideration. Before that, since we've already taken out the high momentum candle here, okay, so there is potential for us to revisit that 74.89 or 74k level, let's say, that is also visible on the Bollinger Band. The RSI on the daily is not really up to 70, and something important to mention here is that we haven't really moved on an overbought territory for a while on Bitcoin. Down on the 4-hour chart is where we find our trade execution. We successfully broke out of the short-term range above 69k and reclaimed the 70k psychological level, went all the way up to 72.84. It's a new test, guys. That is what is important. So we're going to pull out a line over here, okay, and we're going to pull out a line also over here. These levels might be liquidity sweeps at some point. So right now, price is trading above the 4-hour medium Bollinger Band, which sits around the 69,900. We've already come down to test this medium band once, which is important for context over here. You see, that's the first. Typically, we see a second, and then the third one is the one that breaks. But of course, you know, we are looking at kind of a corrective market here, a sideways market, let's say, rather than an impulse. So we have to see how that's going to play out. If we do pull out our Fibonacci tool as well, you know, just to find some clusters, we are seeing the 61.8, of course, is a zone, I would say, that we need to take into account. 72, 73. These spikes are quite usual in BTC as well. And then we also have the 50 Fibonacci, which is, you can consider it as a class of the 70k. So this is an important level taken into account. As long as we remain above that level, okay, so we have good chances of moving higher. So the structure is primed to accelerate, but we really want to watch the 4-hour RSI closely here as well, because if we have had some sort of flatness here, okay, and where the prices actually did spike higher, but what we want to watch here now is whether we can maintain the 60 and the 50 lines. There is a different way to look at this. You know, one would be to draw an RSI trend line and see if we can maintain that at least. Then below that, we're looking at the 50. So for best prop for you traders, the setup, it's a little bit more clear. Holding the median band, since we have been talking about the median bands every time, gives us a good risk-reward ratio to go long, targeting, I would say perhaps even the 74k at some point. Typically with these levels, and I do mention that all the time, we want to go at, not at the peak or at the trough. We really want to go at the liquidity sweep, because it's typically where we're first heading towards. Let's not forget we have the 78.6 Fibonacci as well at 73.64. But for me, this looks more like a potential long position at the median band. Okay, eventual target, stop below the previous swing low. If we do go below that level, then that means that we are in fully reversing this particular move to the upside. So the risk reward here is 2x1. Let's not forget, protecting downside is quite important as well. So if tomorrow ceasefire talks in Pakistan fall apart, especially with the ongoing complications between Israel and Lebanon, risk appetite could vanish in seconds. If price loses the 38.2 Fibonacci, that would be an early sign that we're probably going to go and revisit that territory, and that setup, the bullish setup, will be completely invalidated, and we'll probably see a rapid drop back to lower territories. So keep your stop losses tight just below that medium band, trade the structure, protect your funded account, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.